What is up, everybody? JT Dangerously here once again. I am back to do my Extreme Rules 2017 predictions. Now, of course, this is the next Raw pay-per-view after Payback. Of course, it is this Sunday live on the WWE Network from Baltimore, Maryland. Of course, this pay-per-view has been a pretty good, solid pay-per-view every year, where the WWE goes extreme. Case in point, the name Extreme Rules. But it has been a good pay-per-view in the past. Now, of course, my record finishing up our last WWE pay-per-view, which was, of course, the SmackDown exclusive Backlash, we went 6-2. So we rebounded after the 3-4 record, and our overall record through going into this pay-per-view is 27-14-1. So it is a pretty damn good record, of course. Second best record, of course, is New Japan Pro Wrestling at 24-14. Third best, 14-5 at Ring of Honor, and of course our perfect 10-0 on NXT Takeover predictions. So I want to continue. All of my predictions have been in the are above 500, which is fantastic, and hopefully we will have a great record at this pay-per-view. Now, of course, before I start, I do want to thank all of you guys for watching all the videos in the month of May. Of course, this is the last video this year in May. And it has been a big year for the channel. Of course, I do want to thank all you guys for watching. Of course, my NBA Finals predictions are up. Of course, it's Cavs Warriors 3. And of course, my Stanley Cup Finals predictions are out, which is the Predators and the Pittsburgh Penguins. So and of course, when I got those up, you guys blew it up. Again, it's my NBA predictions are almost at 300 views. I mean, thank you guys so very much. And again, Stanley Cup predictions are over 200 views. So you guys made, like I said in my previous videos with the Stanley Cup and the NBA, you guys made the NBA playoffs and my Stanley Cup playoffs the most successful predictions on my channel since the NFL predictions. So again, thank you guys so very much for watching those videos. And if you have not watched those videos, I'll have them at the at the end of the video. That is for sure. If you have not seen them, definitely check them out if you're basketball and hockey fans like myself. Now, of course, we're going into the month of June. Of course, we got Wonder Woman on Friday. Which I'm going to be seeing, and any DC fan will definitely be seeing. And of course, the Best of the Super Juniors finals is Saturday. So this is going to be a fantastic card, and as well as the Best of the Super Juniors. The next pay-per-view we're going to be doing is, of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is the Monday, June 5th. June 5th, I'll have hopefully my Road to Dominion predictions. Of course, if the card comes out, if the card does not come out on Monday, I'll have it up as soon as the card is up. But Monday for sure, I'll be doing my New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion predictions. Of course, Dominion is on June 11th, which is picked as the biggest rematch wrestling fans have been waiting for. Of course, it is for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Of course, it's Okada versus this man representing of course, I am talking about the cleaner himself, Kenny Omega. Definitely, I cannot wait to do this prediction on Monday. That's next Monday. It's going to be so much fun to do. And if you're New Japan Pro Wrestling fans like myself, that's going to be one to watch for sure, because we got 3 Wrestling Kingdom 11 rematches on that card. So definitely check out for that in June. Of course, the next SmackDown pay-per-view we'll be doing, of course, in June will be Money in the Bank, which I will be making my Money in the Bank predictions there. And the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view in June will be, of course, Best in the World. So I'll have all that in the month of June. Now, of course, when we get to July, I'm definitely doing the G1 Climax for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and of course the G1 Special that will crown a new IWGP United States Championship, which they announced at War of the Worlds that a new title is going to be in a tournament to crown the first ever IWGP Heavyweight Championship. So again, all the stuff you guys are doing in May, thank you guys so very much. Continue it. We're last week of May. So again, I hope everybody has a great Memorial Day as well, because today is Memorial Day. Hopefully what you guys are doing in May will continue into the month of June on this channel. Again, we are at 134 subscribers, so I do want to thank all you guys for watching. And of course, If you're new to the channel, welcome to the Dangerous Alliance. I am, of course, JT Dangerously, and welcome to the club, because this club is just too sweet. Whoop, whoop. Other than that, I think that's all the updates I gotta say before the video. So let's get right into these predictions. Of course, this is not the full card. If they add any other matches after Raw tonight, let me know in the comments, or I'll just. I did hear maybe Goldust or R-Truth, or maybe Cedric and Sasha versus Foxy and Noam. I will make if they add that match before this video goes up, I will put them in the comments below you know I have my picks in. So other than that, let's get right into these picks. Of course, these are not in order. I'm just going off what I'm seeing. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with the first match for the coveted Intercontinental Championship. Of course, the challenger and number one contender, The Miz with Maurice, yes, versus, of course, the reigning, defending Intercontinental Champion, of course, Dean Ambrose. Now, of course, the stipulation in this match is if Dean Ambrose gets disqualified, he will lose the Intercontinental Championship. Of course, wrestling fans remember that stipulation at Money in the Bank 2011 with Orton and Christian, where Christian won the world title when Orton got disqualified. So this is the same stipulation as that. Now, of course, with The Miz, these two have come from SmackDown to Raw during the Superstar Shakeup, which that brought the Intercontinental title to Monday Night Raw. Of course, the United States title went to SmackDown Live. Of course, Miz coming here, he was on a losing streak. He was on a he hadn't won a match since January. Like the week going into the Royal Rumble against Apollo Crews on SmackDown. That was his last TV win. And he hasn't won on pay-per-view this year. So he was coming into Raw after all the stuff he was doing with John Cena, going into WrestleMania and then losing, all the momentum left, and then now he's on Monday Night Raw again. And then, of course, he won a Fatal 4-Way match to become the number one contender by beating Finn Balor. So his TV losing streak is over. Now he's going into a pay-per-view trying to end his own losing streak. Of course, The Miz, coming from me when he was this Intercontinental Champion on SmackDown Live, he made that title prestigious. It was up there with the WWE title for sure. Now we got to talk about, of course, the Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose, who of course won the Intercontinental title from The Miz on SmackDown Live, and really he hasn't done anything since then. I mean, he's only had one title defense. A few weeks ago on Raw, he got himself disqualified on Raw and it was for the Intercontinental title by low blowing The Miz. So we can be completely honest. Ambrose has not been the greatest Intercontinental Champion. He's been maybe the most lazy Intercontinental Champion. I mean, he's not defending it. He hasn't defended it in a great 10-15 minute match. And I mean, let's just be honest. Ambrose hasn't had a great match in you can name a few matches. He hasn't had one good match in 2017. That's being brutally honest. That Ambrose has not had a fantastic match in 2017 in WWE. And honestly, the Intercontinental title is paying dearly for it. I mean, a title that was so prestigious on SmackDown is being such a just not great look. It's just not turning into a great title right now. It's looking like just a title that's just gonna be there, and it's Ambrose. The Ambrose effect on that title is just staggering. Like he did with the United States title. He didn't defend it for 300 days. And the United States title was stagnant. It's the same thing with the Intercontinental title. So coming from me in this matchup, I gotta take The Miz, because I don't want Dean Ambrose the Intercontinental Champion anymore. I cannot stand the man. I mean, again, they had something on Miz TV. Miz was calling out Dean, saying you don't have that fire, and it's the truth. He really doesn't. And Miz has been again, before this whole John Cena thing, Miz was the hottest thing on SmackDown. You cannot deny that. After talking smack, he became the hottest thing on SmackDown. These promos he was doing with, of course, John Cena. But then when he came to Raw and then Ambrose came to Raw, I was like, then we're going to do this again, and they're going to just have Ambrose mow over Miz like he did on SmackDown. Nah, Not here, not now. So coming from me, I'm taking The Miz to become the new Intercontinental Champion by beating Dean Ambrose. And now the next matchup for the Raw Cruiserweight Championship. Of course, the challenger and number one contender, the greatest man that ever lived, A-Double Austin Aries versus, of course, the reigning, defending Raw Cruiserweight Champion, Neville, which, of course, is Neville. Now, of course, Aries won another fatal four-way on 205 Live to become the number one contender. Of course, Aries did win at Payback via DQ because Neville pushed the referee, and that was kind of not the greatest match. That was not the great Cruiserweight match I was hoping for in that match. But Aries does have a win over the Cruiserweight Champion via DQ. Of course, Aries has, Aries, this is, of course, a submission match. So this kind of fits in the wheelhouse of Austin Aries because he's got submission game. He's a submissions pro for sure. And then you have Neville, who, of course, is still the Raw Cruiserweight Champion. He's been the champion since the Royal Rumble. He's had a 5 month plus title run, and again, Neville has been the most dominant Cruiserweight champion in this division by far with this title run. His title run has been fantastic. Of course, he's had a little bit of help with T.J. Perkins, or Teddy Joystick, as Aries would call him. Of course, attacking Aries' knee for a couple of weeks. So Aries' knee is going to be the bullseye for sure. And there's going to be a point in that match that Neville's going to work for it. Of course, it's the front chancery from Austin Aries against their, what do you call it? Again, Corey Graves calls it a Rings of Saturn. It's not the Rings of Saturn. Any wrestling fan who watched wrestling for years knows that's not the Rings of Saturn Aries is using. It's like the submission move Batista used when he was here. Like his like going into like WrestleMania 30. Like, that's his submission move. It even looks like it. It's not the Rings of Saturn. Corey Graves is not the Rings of Saturn. So coming from me in this match, of course, this is the third matchup between the two, of course, at WrestleMania and then at Payback last month. So this is the third and hopefully the final match. So coming from me, as much as I love Neville, he has been a dominant Cruiserweight champion. I think he's already had 5 months as a champion. Okay, it's time to give the title to Austin Aries. I think Austin Aries deserves to have this title. I mean, Austin Aries has to win this match. If he loses again, like, what was the point of taking him off commentary on 205 Live and Raw? I mean, like, you're just going to have Neville win again, and again, I can see Neville winning this match, but coming from me, I am taking Austin Aries to become the new Raw Cruiserweight Champion by beating Neville. And now the next matchup for the Raw Women's Championship. Of course, it is a Singapore Cane on a pole match. Of course, the challenger and number one contender Bayley against the reigning defending Raw Women's Champion, of course, Little Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss. Now, of course, Bayley, of course, coming in as a challenger, lost her title at Payback in her hometown of San Jose, California. Definitely, again, it was bad in one side and then good in another, because the good side is that she was kind of not doing much. I mean, she was not really interesting as the Raw Women's Champion. Again, no offense to Bayley, but she was not really interesting in the Women's Champion on Raw. I mean, very goody-goody, you know. And then you have Alexa Bliss, who became the only woman in WWE history to hold both the Raw Women's title and the SmackDown Women's title in this year. So Alexa Bliss has come a long way. Again, she is maybe the best heel talker. One, she's a great talent in the ring, too. And, of course, she has been killing the what chants. Everybody's saying they can't stand the what chants, but Alexa Bliss has got you covered, because she has been killing the Raw chant on Raw for weeks, and it's been fantastic. Of course, she has deemed herself the goddess of the goddess of the women's division. Of course, we have a boss, we had a queen, we have a hugger, now we have the goddess. And Alexa Bliss has been pretty dominant. I mean, she has been using the Singapore Cane on Bayley a couple weeks ago, and of course last week against Mickie James. So this match, again, this is Kurt Angle's Singapore Cane on a pole match, very Vince Russo-esque, but a very simple and very mundane match. I mean, they don't really even need to use the Singapore Cane to win the match, so they just put that there. But again, the one thing with Bayley is they can't, like, the whole tag, can Bayley get extreme? That's the big tag. This is the big tag. This is like the big tag in this Raw Women's title match. Can Bayley get extreme? Because we can already know Alexa Bliss can go extreme. Case in point with those Singapore Cane attacks. So coming from me in this matchup, I'm going to take Alexa Bliss to win this matchup because I don't, like, she has been a pretty dominant, she has, I mean, I'd rather have her as a Raw Women's Champion. Of course, if it was me, I would go with Bayley or Sasha. But coming from me, I love Alexa Bliss. I mean, she is what a heel champion should be. So coming from me, I am taking Alexa Bliss to beat Bayley and retain her Raw Women's Championship. And now the next matchup for the Raw Tag Team Championships inside a 16-foot-high steel cage. Of course, the number one contenders, of course, Shazarmus, of course, Cesaro and Sheamus versus, of course, the reigning, defending Raw Tag Team Champions, of course, Matt and Jeff, the Hardys. Not the Hardy Boys, the Hardys. The Hardys. Now, of course, Cesaro and Sheamus won a Tag Team Turmoil match, of course, in London a few weeks ago to become the number one contenders for the titles. They lost at WrestleMania. So, this is going to be a fantastic match, of course, with Matt Hardy beating Sheamus last week on Raw. He's named the stipulation. I thought it was going to be like some no DQ thing, but I did not expect a tag team steel cage match on and coming from me, I don't even remember the last tag team steel cage match on pay-per-view. Like, I'm thinking maybe 5-6 years or 2 or 3 years that we haven't had a tag team steel cage match on pay-per-view. I mean, we've had tag team steel cage matches on television, of course, on Raw and SmackDown, but it's got to have been like maybe 2 or 3 years or 5 or 6 years we haven't had a tag team steel cage title match on pay-per-view. So if you know when the last, if you guys know the last tag team steel cage match on pay-per-view, let me know in the comments because I am drawing blanks on the last one on pay-per-view. Of course, this is a pretty good. This is a great match. I mean, with a cage. You got Jeff Hardy going to do some mad shit crazy like he usually does in these matches. Jeff Hardy's going to do crazy shit. Like, if you've seen his steel cage matches in the past in the WWE, he does crazy shit. You got Cesaro, you got the Swiss Superman, you got the Celtic Warrior Sheamus. You got, of course, we're still waiting for this settlement with Impact Wrestling with this whole broken gimmick because that's all I'm waiting for with the Hardys. I mean, I love the Hardys being back. I love the nostalgia, but the whole point of them bringing them back is we want the broken gimmick that we saw in TNA. I mean, that's the whole point. We want to see we already see the delete chants, of course. We see a little bit of the broken Matt with the wonderful, yes. I mean, all that stuff. We're getting little tidbits of that, and of course, we're seeing a few tweets with Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy a couple days ago. So they're teasing us, but I wish it just get it done. So coming from me, this is going to be a fantastic matchup. So coming from me, I'm going to take Cesaro and Sheamus to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions because this will give us enough time, and hopefully the lawyers will get this whole broken gimmick property of the WWE, so we can have the broken Hardys with Brother Nero and Broken Matt. So coming from me in this matchup, I am taking Cesaro and Sheamus to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. And now the main event for the number one contender spot at the next Raw pay-per-view against the reigning, defending Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Of course, the next Raw pay-per-view, of course, in July now. You're going to just... The name of this pay-per-view is so out of this world, it's insane. Of course, the next Raw pay-per-view is Great Balls of Fire. Of course, it was supposed to be Bad Blood, but they changed it to Great Balls of Fire. So, this match is, of course, a fatal five-way Extreme Rules match with five men looking to become the number one contender to fight Brock Lesnar at that pay-per-view. Of course, the 5 men: Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor, and of course, the big dog himself. Ooh, ah! Of course, I'm talking about Roman Reigns. Now, of course, this match, of course, with the Braun Strowman injury, of course, we're not going to be hearing me saying Braun Strowman for a while because, of course, he was injured. He's going to be out for, they're saying 6 months, but I have heard, of course, this is a rumor that he may be back by mid-July going into SummerSlam. So, of course, hopefully we will get him back because 6 months, too much. But, of course, this match was made because it was supposed to be Braun against Roman in an ambulance match at this year's Extreme Rules, but they had to do something because of the Strowman injury, so we got a fatal 5-way match. Of course, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins had a great match at Payback, of course, and they're in this match. Of course, we could get Rollins and Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire. We could get Joe and and Brock Lesnar and then, of course, Bray Wyatt, who came from SmackDown to Raw after, well, having a cup of coffee title run as the WWE Champion. So he's coming in here as somewhat of a dark horse. And then you have Roman Reigns, who, of course, this is my yard now. I should be challenged. Of course, Roman Reigns had that attitude of saying, oh, there should not be, this match should not happen because, I'm the guy who took out the Monster Among Men. I'm the number one contender. But, of course, you cannot forget the former Universal Champion, of course, Finn Balor, representing Balor Club for sure. This match is going to be fun. Of course, it's an Extreme Rules match. So, you're going to see the usual chairs, tables, and maybe kendo sticks. You're going to see most of that stuff in that match. Of course, it's five of these guys definitely deserve a shot at Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire, but one of them deserves it a lot more. Now, do I think Joe can win this match? Yes, but do I think he'll win? No. Does Rollins deserve to win this match? Yes. Does he need this? Does he need this win? No, because he'll get a shot later in the year. Okay, now with, of course, Bray Wyatt. Does he need this match? No. Do I think he's going to win? Hell no. Because he already had a shot at the title. He had it for a cup of coffee on SmackDown Live. He ain't getting no title shot. Now the next guy, of course, Roman Reigns. Do I think he can win this match? No. Does he need... do I think he'll win? No, because they're setting this up. The only thing they're doing with Roman Reigns is that they're keeping Brock and Roman away from each other on pay-per-view. None of these pay-per-views like Great Balls of Fire or Extreme Rules or No Mercy, we're going to get that match on the biggest stage of them all. And what's the biggest stage of them all? It's WrestleMania. And I just think it's going to be Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34 for the Universal title. Because I personally am guaranteeing Roman Reigns is going to win the 2018 Royal Rumble. You can ask my glorious brothers. I am taking Roman Reigns to win the 2018 Royal Rumble to get that shot. And of course, he will beat Brock Lesnar and become the face of the WWE, whether we like it or not. And now the next guy I think, and he is the guy I think he's going to get this done. Because last week on Raw, Paul Heyman talked to this guy. He put him over to the moon. He put this man over the moon. Now, of course, I'm talking about Finn Balor. Paul Heyman put Finn Balor over the moon and endorsing him. Like, he said, screw the rest, you're the best in this business right now, Finn Balor. So coming from me in this Fatal 5-Way Extreme Rules match, I'm going to take Finn Balor to become the number one contender and face Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire for the Universal Championship. And those are my Extreme Rules predictions. Now, I hope you guys did enjoy my predictions. Comment below, who do you have winning these big-time matches? Of course, who do you have winning the Fatal 5-Way? I have Finn Balor. Who do you guys have? Of course, who do you have in the cage match? Who do you have in the IC match, Cruiserweight title match, women's match? Let's have if my predictions are different from yours, let's have a comment below. Let's have a conversation about it. That's what I love about doing these videos. Of course, your guys' opinions, especially in wrestling predictions, for sure. Now, of course, if you do comment, I will, of course, hit that thumbs up on it and, of course, reply right back to you, because comments are always, always, always welcome on this channel, and it supports the channel as well with your opinions. Now, of course, I do want to thank all of you guys so very much for watching. Of course, before you go, you can never forget to do this. That like button, comment, share it with your friends. Of course, super kick that like button like only you guys can. Of course, you can never forget to do this as well. That subscribe button and become part of this bigger and dangerous alliance. I will see you June 5th for my Dominion and Road to Dominion 2017 predictions. Later days and peace.